Hello, my most amazing artist. So last week we drew and outlined our umbrella person holding their umbrella. My person's getting really windy on this one. And then today we're going to start coloring. So we're going to color our raincoat, our buttons, our pants or our legs, and our rain boots. Any color you want, as long as you color nice and dark and waxy. So I'm just finishing up some of my coloring. When we're coloring, we want to color nice and dark. We want to take our time and stay in the lines. Sometimes I even color like in a little circle to really fill in all that white spot. I'm going to color my rain boots, and you can color your boots and your raincoat any color you want. It does not have to be the colors that I'm using. Whatever colors speak to you and make you happy and that you enjoy coloring with, that works for me. I just made my rain boots match my buttons because that's what I like to do. You don't have to do that. So after you have your raincoat and your buttons and your boots colored, you have to decide, are these pants or is that your leg? So I might say those are my legs peeking out, like my little knees peeking out. So I'm going to color that a skin color, but you decide what works for you. My main rule on these is you need to color nice and dark and waxy. That way it looks rich and we're staying in our lines. And that's that. So I know you're going to take some time to color that, but you're going to color that first. And then we're going to color our umbrella a special way. So you'll need 6 special colors. You'll need red. You'll need yellow. You'll need blue. And those are our primary colors. Then you're going to need, oh, while I have it, orange, purple or violet, and green. And if we remember, those are our secondary colors. And we're going to use our primary and secondary colors to create a color wheel. And a color wheel is how we kind of learn different color families and things like that. We use a lot in the older grades to talk about color theory and how colors work together and all that fancy stuff, but we're just going to make a color wheel. If you were in my art room, I have a color wheel on the wall, but you haven't gotten there yet. So we're going to start with our primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. Each piece, each triangle we made is going to be one color of the color wheel, and it makes it really important where you put that color. So I would like you to put your color where I put mine so your color wheel makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to start with red, and I'm going to put red on the bottom. So I'm the bottom on my right side, I'm coloring this red. I'm going to color nice and neatly. I'm coloring a little fast so you don't have to sit here and watch me color for so long. You can color along with me at this point if you want to. It's up to you. I'm also going to put just a picture of my completed color wheel so you can follow along that way too by looking at the picture. So once you have your red color nice and neatly, going back and over it a couple of times, you're done with red. Okay? Now I'm going to go to yellow. And I'm going to put yellow. I'm going to skip one. I'm going to go red, skip, yellow. I'm going to color nice and dark. Really want my colors to be rich and waxy. I like to turn my paper so I'm not coloring super away from me. So again, I'm coloring fast because I want you to not have to watch me color for so long. So that is yellow. Next, I'm going to color the color blue. And I'm going to color yellow, skip one, blue. My blue is kind of a light blue, and that's okay. Now, we have 8 sections in our color wheel, and we really only need 6. So we're going to have an extra section, and that's okay. We're going to make it work. We're going to get a little fancy with our sections. So normally we wouldn't have this extra section here, so now we do. So we have 8 pieces and we only really need 6, but that's okay. So we're going to ignore this side for now. We're going to talk about what does red plus yellow make. It makes orange because that's a secondary color. So that's how you read a color wheel. Yellow and red squished together make this color. And we're going to color that orange. Okay, so that's how you kind of read a color wheel. Color, 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 color. Okay, then we have yellow plus blue makes, yep, green. We're going to put that here. Color, 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 color. Okay. Now here's where it's going to get tricky. We might need a couple colors from our crayon box, and that's okay. We should only have one more space, but we have 3 pieces left. So we're going to make our color wheel kind of go to that third set, and this is kind of tricky, but that's okay. Red and blue make purple, so we're going to put that in the middle. So I'm going to get my purple, and I'm going to color that with a spot on either side. And when we were doing our color wheel, I didn't think about it until after I did my last class that we weren't making 6 sections, we were making 8. But that's okay, we can make it work. We're just going to have an interesting color wheel. All right, so now we have these 2 white spots. And we can leave 1 white, but I thought that's kind of boring. So what I want you to do is take your blue and your purple crayon, and you're going to put them here. And then you'll take your red and your purple crayon over here. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to color really light, a little bit of red. So when you mix red and purple, or red and violet, you get a color called red-violet. And that's a tertiary color, which is kind of like a third set of colors that we'll learn about when you get a little bit older. We're just kind of practicing. Now you can mix your colors like Mrs. Cole is doing, or you can go in your crayon box and find the color that says red violet. And it's usually a pinky purple color. Let me see if I have one. Yep, red violet's right here. So I could have just colored with that, and that's probably the same color as my boots. Or you can mix it yourself. It's up to you. I'm doing a combination of both. So if you want to be really smooth and dark, find your crayon that says red violet, and you can just color that color. Or you can color red, and then you can color purple and make your own color. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for blue. Blue plus purple, or violet, equals blue violet. So you can go in your crayon box and find a color that says blue violet, and you can color with that, or you can color blue down first. And you don't have to color as hard on this one because we're mixing them. And I'm using those Target crayons that aren't as good as the Crayola ones. I don't love how they put color down. And then I can put purple on top of it. And sometimes when you're mixing those colors, you have to color a little harder. So this reminds you that you mix those 2 colors together. So you can mix them like I did, or take the blue violet out of your crayon box and make that work too. So we kind of have a lopsided color wheel. We have the third colors over here, and that's okay. It's still a really pretty umbrella. So when you're all done coloring, everything's really waxy, you need to get out your watercolor set, a paintbrush, some water, and if you have a straw you're allowed to use, you can. We are not dipping the straw in anything, we're just using the straw to blow through, so it can be a real straw that you put in the dishwasher. It doesn't matter. At school we're using disposable so we can throw those germs away, and we're going to do this outside, so we're blowing in stuff outside. So what you want to do is we're going to pretend like we're splashing in puddles. So you want to get your paintbrush really wet, and you want to decide, do you want blue paint or do you want turquoise paint? I'm going to paint. It needs to be really wet. We're making a big puddle, and puddles don't have to be a perfect circle. So I'm really using a lot of water, and I'm getting a lot of paint down. And you decide, lots and lots of water. And I'm having my person float up a little bit, but it's up to you. You can have your paint go all the way to the bottom. I might add a little turquoise in there too, just because I love turquoise. So any blue color, but the key, guys, is we need so much water. Lots and lots of water. And you want to go pretty quick. So we're just we're making our very own puddle of water. Okay? And then when you have it the way you like it, you're going to put your straw kind of down near the puddle, and you're going to blow. And when you blow, it looks like you're splashing. So it looks like your friend went splashing in the rain. And if you didn't get a lot of things to blow, you can add a couple more drops of paint on the side. Like I want to look like she really splashed a lot. And I can go back and reblow. So that's super fun. So it looks like we're kind of splashing in puddles. Now you can make your puddle really small. You can make your puddle really big like Mrs. Cole did. It's up to you. If it goes on your paper up towards the person like mine did, that's okay. The crayon's going to resist that. So since you have puddles sitting there, and I'm actually going to make sure it looks like my feet are there. It's hard to stop playing, I'm just saying. I might have made my puddle too big, but it's so much fun. So I don't mind a little bit of it going on my person because when you splash in rain, it actually does that. If you're allowed, and I don't know if we're going to do this in class or not, but if you're allowed, you could take, and if your table's protected, you can get a lot of water on your paintbrush, dip it back in that blue so it's really watery. And if you hold your paintbrush flat and you tap it, you can make it look like it's raining. So there's lots of fun things you can do with water and paint. But so you tap your paintbrush so you get that splatter effect. Now the only problem with that, friends, is it gets really messy. So make sure you either do that outside or your table's covered because now Mrs. Cole has paint everywhere. But that's okay. It's really fun. So I can see if I can zoom in so you can see. So I have lots of splatter. My paint really got a nice splatter. And that's done and you're finished. You want to let this dry because the standing water, when you pick up your paper, will drip. And maybe you want it to drip and you want to make it look a bigger splash. But most of the time, we're going to want it just to kind of hang out. So let this dry. Take a picture and then send me a picture of your rainy color wheel puddle splashing amazingness. I hope you had fun. A couple of different fun techniques using a straw and some watercolors. And have a wonderful spring break. You'll notice this isn't due until after spring break, so you have this week to work on it, and you have some spring break time to work on it too. This will be due the Tuesday after spring break. All right? If you have any questions, let me know, and if you're not allowed to do this part, that's okay. Your class might not do this, depending on how crazy we get, but we'll definitely have fun with the splashing. Any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye, my most amazing artists.